Yeah, this is Jehst. I'm chilling, reading Master Detective and planning some heinous crimes for OFFIE magazine.
How do you expect me to sleep at night, knowing my people ain't eating right? Give me a mic, I'll strike with heat like a meteorite. Fuck the major hype, scribe sniping at me and mine. Megatron clock.
I think like rap music in the UK right now is really strong and like probably more diverse than it's ever been, really, in terms of styles. And like we've been very kind of traditionalist and purist in our kind of attitudes, and then there's been a very clear distinction between quote unquote real hip hop, then you've got kind of like grime and slash road rap whatever over here, and then you've got the kind of what they used to call trip hop. Anyone who's kind of doing hip hoppy stuff that's not really hip hop. I think now like all of that stuff is all just, the categories are irrelevant, and everyone's kind of got their own little audience. It's not really an audience for the genre or whatever, so that can only be positive because it's taking you outside of being, you know, ring fenced. There's still been this thing of like UK rappers in the US are selling ice to Eskimos, and I think that's dead now. Like that's just dead. That's given there's a whole next generation now, yeah, that have got the confidence to put on their own, you know, release their own shit, do their own tours, sell their own merch, and not, and you know, and know that there's a market for it. Whereas I think historically we've let people convince, you know what I mean? Like obviously I haven't, because I'm still here like an idiot, still chipping away at it, but I've seen, you know, generations of people just go, no, go get the day job and just like believe that that there's no audience for it outside of like their hometown, or you know, that's dead now, man. Yeah. Sure, like hopefully, like it feels like it. I think it's always been like that. Yeah. I think the difference now, right, is that back in the day you'd be telling someone about like your brethren who like, yo, my homie is sick, but unless you go round to his house and sit in his fucking room, you're never gonna hear any of it, right? And then you'd have the other guy who you maybe don't think is as good, and he's only got one song, but he's going out there and fucking hammering it, and everyone's heard of him because he's out there blamming his stickers up, doing his radio slots, jumping up at open mics, whatever it is, right? Now the difference now is the guy in his bedroom is also uploading all his shit, as is the guy who's hammering his promotion. So it's easier now to kind of look at it and go, oh, there's so many people now making really good shit, but you're not necessarily going to be successful because look at this guy with amazing shit but low numbers, right? And it's like, it's there for you to see it, to judge it. Whereas before, you could only judge who was already in the race. You could only judge who was already going outside of their comfort zone to compete. You know, if it's outside of your comfort zone to jump up on an open mic, it's outside of your comfort zone to go knock on the door of a record label or a record shop even and be like, I need you to stock my shit. So nowadays, people that don't want to go outside of their comfort zone can still upload their music. So it's easy to like look at their music and go, yo, this shit's amazing, but this is going nowhere. But it's like, they weren't there. You couldn't judge them before. You couldn't see them to judge them. So you couldn't come up with that statistic of like all this amazing shit that's going nowhere. It's weird, man, because I feel like a time traveller when I'm talking about some of this shit.
Children of the night.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year.
Tour, yeah, man. On tour in March. I should be able to reel off the dates, but I can't. But I know we're hitting Manchester, Leeds, Brighton, London, Bristol, somewhere else I'm missing. But yeah, I'm on tour in March. Tickets are already on sale. You know, support an independent artist like myself. I mean, you know what? It's like this independent hustle and making it like 360 with the shows and the releases. It's like that's the key. So you know, I think it's easy people to think that like they're supporting a promoter or a venue, by coming out and spending money on a gig ticket. No, you're not actually. You're supporting the artist, because nowadays more than ever, that's where the majority of income comes from. I mean, some of the guys out here with the highest visibility and probably the ones that you think are selling the most records are actually only really making their money off touring. You know what I mean? Without naming names, and that's the reality. So yeah, man, like I have to plug the tour. There should be new music, so I'm not going to bait myself up, but there should be something out right now. Go get it. Go get it. Pick 3 items from my off license. What? It depends on my criteria. It depends where I'm going and what I'm doing. And
I mean, what about right
for
now?
resale? Just on a like personal use. A fucking packet of raws, a lighter, and a fucking beer. Probably is the most practical items that I could buy from a off license. I don't know.
What beer would you go for?
Depends what they got, man. I'm starting to get a bit. I'm getting a bit bougie on this craft beer shit now, innit? I'm starting to get a bit like, ooh, yeah. I need an IPA or something. Like I need a little. I don't know. Are we trying to get sponsorship here? I'm not giving these brands no fucking. Unless they're gonna send me a free crate of beer, I'm not saying your fucking brand name. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
But I did give Raw. Yeah. Give me a sponsorship. See, I put you out there. Raw papers. They got Wiz Khalifa. They don't need me, man.
When the summer evenings turn to autumn nights,
OFFIE,
and a pretty
mate.
little something that caught your eye, making something out of